How important is... Okay. How important
we love you, Max,
yes,
by the way. We're just being facetious.
We love all of you that were making funny questions.
Wonderful.
How important is projecting sexual intent through your eyes and actions when with a girl? Should your glare be predominantly sexualized or neutral most of the time? Okay, I'm assuming you're not glaring.
Me and Darren agreed that you should be jerking off within 3 seconds of eye contact.
All right, so I'm going to assume you didn't mean glare, you mean the eye contact that you make with the girl. And I'm assuming this is when you're actually meeting her and not like when you're like in bed with her. Generally, when you're talking to a girl, your eye contact should not have a lot of sexuality to it. Unless you're aiming for that, or you're going for that, or you're about to kiss her or something. Usually there shouldn't be a lot of that because this is a neutral kind of getting to know each other, maybe flirting, maybe joking around.
Yeah, I think
that gets really creepy when you get really sexual.
I think it's very stage dependent. If you like walk in looking at me like this, I'm gonna think you're high at first. However, if you never look at me like that, I'll be like, okay, we're just having a cool conversation. And then it'll be weird when you whip your dick out. I'm like, I didn't know we were there. But if you gave me the glare, then I knew it was coming.
You would still be weirded out.
But I'd be less weirded out.
Okay.
I'd be less weirded out.
I would say, for the most part, the only exception I would say when you approach with that is when you're approaching direct in a loud nightclub and you're approaching with sexuality. Yes. That's kind of the only exception. For the most part, you're going to be
just own
approaching
it at that point.
neutral. Yeah. And obviously when you're in the bedroom, you're going to bring more of that out. But for the most part, it's going to be neutral eye contact throughout.
I think in terms of moving it forward, it's a necessity. But if it's just in terms of like, if you're at the Whole Foods in the cheese section, you don't have to come in like predominantly sexualized. Not at the Whole Foods.
All right, so next question comes from Tariku. When you invite the girl out via text, do you say date, hang out, go out, or meet up?
None. Don't ever say that shit. Girls don't want. I don't want to go on a date. I don't want to hang out. I don't want to go out. I don't want to meet up. Just,
I could say meet up.
Not meet up. It's like, do you want to meet up to get murdered? If you ask me that.
Well, it depends on the context, right? Here's the thing too. I don't know if he's from the United States, so a lot of this could be dependent on your location.
Fine.
Now, I'm going to give you the answer based on assuming you're from the United States, because that's where we're from, and that's kind of where our expertise is.
Fine.
It really also depends on the age range, too. If you ask a 45-year-old woman to, like, hang out, it's going to be kind of weird, right? Well, you ask a 17-year-old... Like,
are we asking 17-year-olds? That's illegal.
What if he's 16?
Fine.
Right? There's a lot of variables here.
He's a MILF. So, he's a cougar, obviously. Okay. A whole other ballgame.
Let's assume, right, you're in your 20s, and you're in some sort of Western society. Generally, you don't want to say date because it sounds like there's expectations. Like,
all of these have expectations. I say, I don't want to go on a date, I want to go on an adventure. If you know that I'm from Jersey and I like pizza, don't say, let's go on a pizza date. Say, hey, chick, I know the best.
Let's go on an adventure.
Let's go on an adventure. Listen, it's like, I know the best pizza place in downtown LA, and I get it, pizza here sucks, but I'm taking you because you deserve a good...
I don't really like East Coast pizza.
Are you fucking high?
It's not
all right, whatever. Then, regardless,
Chicago, yes.
Regardless, why? It's too thick.
Chicago's way better than
There's so much bread.
There's stuff in the bread.
I'm just not a fan.
It's
all right,
really good.
So I don't want to go on a date. I want to go on something to my liking. If you said to me, I want to take you on a date, I'd be like, that sounds rapey. But if you were like, hey, listen, I know that you like this. I really want to take you here. It'd be great. When are you free? Different story.
Yeah, the idea of having the thing that you're doing, that's going to always be much more attractive sounding than any of these words that you're describing here. If you can bring up what you're going to do, that's always going to be more fun. Like, even guy to guy. If one of my guy friends is like, hey, do you want to hang out? Or, hey, do you want to go paintballing? One of them I'm like, eh. And one of them I'm like, yes.
Absolutely.
Right?
It's about giving her incentive to say yes. It's like, I'm actually getting something.
I would refer to it potentially as hanging out. If you're talking about it in the third person or you're talking about it later, I would try not to refer to it as a date, generally speaking, because date implies there's all this formality and awkwardness and expectations and whatever. That's why when girls ask you out, what do they say most of the time? They're like, oh, when are we hanging out? They say that because they don't want to be like, when are you taking me out on a formal date so it can be awkward and then you can expect sex afterward because you paid for dinner. Like, nobody wants to...
Best date ever!
Yeah. A lot of times girls will say hang out in order to make it more casual so that there aren't those expectations.
So there aren't any, If we agree to a date, it's like, oh shit, now I might have to put out.
Shut up. Yeah, that's your big word.
That is, you bought me dinner? I gotta fucking put out now!
You're probably the one expecting him to put out. Let's be honest here.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
But she's not representative.
I am not.
So, yeah. Well, that is all of our questions, guys. Thank you very much for submitting them. We'll be doing this on a regular basis. So find us on Facebook. You'll see the video posted up there, and you'll also see the thread that we will accept questions, and then we'll make another video like this, answer your burning questions on life, relationships, and dating.